Hi guys, EBPMAN with tablets for me, and today we're going to do a comparison, a much requested comparison between the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro 8.4 and the Apple iPad Mini with Retina. So let's talk about the first thing, and that's the dimensions. The first thing that you'll notice is that from size, the Samsung Galaxy Tab Pro tends to be slightly taller than the iPad Mini, and it's also slightly narrower. So from a dimensions perspective, you're looking at a tablet that is 5.5 inches wide compared to 5.3. You're also looking at a tablet that is 8.62 inches tall, right, compared to 7.87 inches tall. You're looking at a difference between, I'd say, 0.28 inches thick. See, so that's 0.2 inches thick, 0.28 as I mentioned, sorry. And then here what you're looking at is a 0.29. So very close in thickness, right? So it's kind of hard for the naked eye to be able to pick out which one is thinner or thicker than the other. So they're pretty much about the same. And then from a weight perspective, even though the Samsung Galaxy Tab is made out of plastic, you know, the backing and the iPad is made out of aluminum, they weigh literally the same. So you're looking at 11.6 ounces, 11.67 ounces, 11.67 ounces for both. So they're the same weight. The aspect ratio of the screen is different. So what you're looking at is the resolution of the screens is a little bit different, and also the aspect ratio. And the aspect ratio is, you know, how the screen is laid out. So you're looking at this screen itself is 7.9 inches, and it's using a technology that is called IPS. The actual tablet from Samsung is using a different type technology. It's 8.4 inches. So it's larger. The screen technology is for the actual Samsung is called Super Clear LCD, which does give you better color, better clarity than what you get for the iPad Mini. If you focus on the resolution for a second, you're looking at a 2560 by 1600 resolution for the Samsung, compared to a 1536 by 2048 for the iPad Mini. 326 pixels per inch and 359 pixels per inch on the Samsung. So how does that translate to just, you know, the average person who's looking at these tablets? Well, pretty much what it means is that the resolution or the clarity of the text, the clarity of the pictures, the experience that you have in gameplay will be better because of the higher resolution and higher pixel per inch density than you would find on the iPad Mini. So better quality screen at this point. Now keep in mind that there's other things that factor in creating a better graphic experience, but at least from a spec perspective, the Tab Pro takes the Mini in that area. Both tablets have speakers on the bottom. So here's your speakers. See that? Speakers on the bottom. One uses a proprietary connector, right, that you can't use with anything else. One uses a standard connector, which is the micro USB. The processors for these devices are also different. So this is using a processor that is proprietary to Apple, and this is using a processor from a different company. The processor on the Samsung tablet is a Qualcomm Snapdragon quad-core, so quad-core processor at 2.3 gigahertz. The Apple is a 1.3 gigahertz processor. There's 2 gigabytes of RAM for doing things, you know, opening programs and running programs. There's 1 gigabyte of processing RAM on this device. And if you ask yourself, well, what does that mean to me when I'm using the tablet? Well, in both devices, what you'll find is you experience potential slowdowns or apps fail to open when you don't have enough memory. One thing that is commonly known and happens with the Apple operating system is programs just close. So if you're in either in your browser and you're navigating and all of a sudden it just closes on you, that's probably a sign that you just don't have enough memory, or it could be a bug. But you see that kind of behavior where either things don't open or things just close on you. And the same thing you find happening on the Samsung. So theoretically, you have more room, or you can have more things going on the Samsung device than you can on the Apple device because of the actual memory that it has to process. Now, another area to look at is storage. So both models, this is available, the Samsung, in a 16 or 32 gig. This is a 16 gig model, so 16 gig onboard memory for storage and music and apps. This one is available from 16 all the way up to 128 gig. And the one thing about it is, though, it's not expandable beyond that. So if I buy a 16 gig Samsung and a 16 gig iPad, the iPad can't be expanded once you buy it with that configuration. However, the Samsung can, because it has an expandable memory card support or slot on the side that allows you to upgrade the memory or have more storage up to 64 gig. So that's a benefit, and that's just something that is very common with the non-Apple devices. From a battery perspective, you're also looking at 4,800 4,400 milliamp hours. So you have a larger battery, I believe, on the Samsung than you do on the actual Apple. Both devices, if you're in the market of doing something, or you getting something that would allow you to video chat with someone, both have cameras in the front, both have different programs to chat with. So there's a market of, if you want to use Skype on this one, you can use Skype on this one. You could actually Skype between both, but you can't use FaceTime. You can only use FaceTime on specific Apple devices. From a camera perspective, you're looking at a 2 megapixel camera on the front versus a 1.2 megapixel camera on the front. So for video chat, you have a lower resolution camera on the iPad mini than you do on the Samsung. You have an 8 megapixel camera in the back with a flash. You have a 5 megapixel camera in the back with no flash. One has 4x digital zoom, which is a Samsung. The Apple has a 3 times digital zoom. Also, as you look at the actual Samsung, the Samsung does have a port, or an IR blaster, that allows you to control your television, change channels, raise volume, all that kind of jazz. The Apple device does not. The Samsung does have some controls in the front, a home button similar to what Apple has, but it also has a back button and a multitasking button on the side. So with the actual Apple, you have to press twice to be able to see what applications you have running. With the Samsung, all you do is you tap this button here, and then all of your applications that are running will appear on the bottom. Now last, I'll just mention this before we wrap up the video, because it was really about hardware specs. The Samsung does bring several free features. For example, you got a 50 gigabyte Dropbox for 2 years on the Samsung. You also get 1 year of free GoGo in-flight access, so that if you travel or you're a business traveler and you're on a plane that supports internet, you'll be able to use this for free for a full year. There are several other different packages that they have, but I thought that those two were probably two of the most significant ones. And also there's like a remote access software that you can use to log into your PC at home that is also for free for a year. The Apple comes with iCloud, and you get 5 gigabytes of storage. But those 5 gig of storage, 5 would be for the lifetime of the product. So you don't have, it's not going to expire after 2 years, unlike what you get from Dropbox with Samsung. So I hope this gives you kind of an idea of a comparison. I'll do some startup comparisons, some speed comparisons a little bit later, but I wanted to give you kind of from respect how they look, how they compare from size and look and feel, and just some differences on the actual technology that they use. Apologize for the long video, but again, I've had some requests asking about the specs and the comparison. Please like the video, share it, and I look forward to the other videos coming.